So thank you for coming in, Terry. I know we spoke on the phone, but I just wanted to kind of go over uh, my credentials and introduce myself to you in the flesh. So my full name is Nicole McBrarty. Feel free to call me Nikki. Um, I am a community integration specialist here at KBH, and basically what that means is that I'm going to be supporting you and helping enable you to participate in life and the community in as many ways possible, equal to anyone with or without a disability. And I studied at KVCC, and I spent a little time at the University of Southern Maine as well. And what we're going to do today is go over this document that I'm going to provide for you at the end of our time. It's an informed consent document, and basically what it says is that you have the right to know what you're getting into.
Okay.
And the right to refuse any part of treatment, and going over this document gives you that opportunity.
Okay.
So we're going to start with our form. This is our orientation packet, and a copy of the form that you'll get at the packet that you'll get at the end.
Okay.
Has some other little things about trauma-informed care and service animals and professional standards, but I really want to go over with you the agreement to use and pay for our services, which will probably seem like common sense to you, but again, this is just to give you an opportunity to bring up any questions or just to know what you're getting into. So the agreement is that we are going to offer you quality care, which means that I will be supervised by somebody with a license, a licensed mental health professional. That means that that person will review how I understand legal and help treat anything that you need help with. I might be discussing this information about your treatment with my supervisor, and we use a team approach here, which means that we sit down and talk together among the group about how best to help you with your treatment.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, awesome. If you need to miss an appointment, please cancel in advance. We ask if for a 3-day notice, if possible, at least 24 hours. And you can expect the same from me. If I'm ever sick or I can't see you, I'll let you know as soon as possible.
Okay.
Just a caution, if you don't, the reason that we ask you to do that is that so it's easier to get you another appointment, like that you might need. Got that?
I do.
Okay, good. Feel free to ask any questions or like interrupt me or tell me I don't make sense.
Okay.
Okay. So we expect to be paid for services. We ask you to agree to pay us according to the fees in our fee schedule. And I'll talk a little bit about fees with you. We have several ways to pay through insurance. We have co-payments and private payment. For insurance, if you have health insurance, we'll file the claim with your agency on your behalf for no charge. And when you sign this document, you agree that the insurance will pay us directly. We expect them to pay within 90 days. And if that doesn't happen, if there's a dispute, then we need to figure out how it's gonna get paid. Generally, that's with a private payment, which is due at each visit. If you don't pay for 2 visits in a row, we may not give you another appointment until your balance is paid, just as a precautionary measure. You don't have a child who's here for treatment, so I'm gonna skip that little section on here.
Okay.
So we do have the right to, if your bill's not paid, you do have the right to report that to a collection agency or the court system, but we'll, do whatever we can to assist before we even get there, so,
Okay.
just a cautionary. Our next section is the rights of recipients of mental health services, mental health services, and that is you, the recipient. It's a summary of your rights as a recipient of those services. They're provided here at KVH. I'm going to give you a copy of this, which is your right, and looks like number 1, basic rights. That is basically that you have the same rights, civil, human, and legal, that any person, any citizen has, and that you have the right to be treated with courtesy and full respect for your individuality and dignity, and that you should be assured that you will be free from abuse, neglect, exploitation, humiliation, or retaliation in any form.
Okay.
Confidentiality and access to records. Number 2, you have the right to your records. They will be kept confidential and only released with your fully informed, signed consent. You have the right to review it at any time, and you also have the ability to add written comments to your record, to ask for clarification, ask questions. No one else can see your record unless you specifically authorize them to see it. And KVH follows all applicable state and federal laws when it comes to confidentiality
Okay.
and protected health information. So number 3, individual treatment or service plan. We're going to be working on that together. It's this basically states that you have the right to an individualized plan developed by you and I together. And this will be based on your specific needs and goals.
Okay.
This plan will be in writing, and you have the right to a copy of it. It needs to specifically detail what each of us will do within what amount of time, and how those goals will be accomplished, and how we will measure your success. It will be based on your actual needs, and if a service that you need is not available, we'll have to find another way to be able to meet that goal. So important, very important, number 4, informed consent, which is kind of what this is all about. No services or treatment here can be provided to you against your will. So at any time you have the right to say no, or I don't want to do this. However you need to let me know, please do that, okay?
Okay.
If you have a guardian, they are authorized to make decisions without your consent. Do you have a guardian?
I don't.
No. Okay. So we won't have to worry about that right now, but you can read about that. They have the right to be fully informed of all risks and benefits of any proposed treatment. Okay, I'm sorry about that interruption. Also, I wanted to take a minute to thank you for letting me record this to help me get better at it as I move on. So we were talking about informed consent, and I'm just gonna go over that again because I don't remember exactly where I left off on there. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay. So basically, no services or treatment can be provided to you against your will. If you have any questions at any time, ask me or anyone else here at the agency to help you with that before anyone else you choose before making decisions about treatments or services, okay? Because we want you to know exactly what you're getting into and the risks and benefits. If you do ever get a guardian, they have the right to be fully informed of the same risks and benefits, all that information.
Okay,
How does that sound?
that sounds good.
Okay, good. Assistance in the protection of rights, number 5. You have the right to appoint a representative of your choice to help you understand your rights at any time if it's not working out, or even just because you want to.
Okay,
They can help also work out a treatment or service plan, but if you do ever decide this, we need to get that in writing from you,
okay,
and you will have access to them at any time that we're working here. Number 6, I will never seclude or restrain you, so don't ask. Just kidding. Okay. You have the right to file a grievance should you feel any of your rights have been denied here. You or a personal representative may institute a grievance by 1, discussing the concerns with those involved and being afforded every opportunity to get your complaints, your issues resolved informally. If you think that further resolution is needed, then we'll move on to the formal phase, getting that in writing.
okay,
And you should receive an answer to your grievance in writing as well, with reasons for why the decision was made. And of course, you can appeal that at any time, and the appeal information is right in here in this packet.
okay,
Okay, so all verbal or written complaints will be acted upon within 48 hours, and a formal written response to the complaint, if requested, will be provided within 30 days
okay,
of the date of the complaint. We also have suggestion boxes in all of our waiting areas if you want to take advantage of those. Grievances, basically the same, made in writing. We do have a grievance form, which I can give you a copy of, and if you want to take a look at that.
okay,
They're only available, any staff can really give you one of those, but that's the only place that they're available. A formal written response to your grievance can be expected within 5 days, excluding weekends and holidays. And sometimes staff might need a longer period to investigate the circumstances of the grievance. An extension might be given. And if you are unhappy with the results of the grievance that you file, you can follow up with a DHHS at any time. Appeals need to be made within 10 days. Does that make sense?
it does.
Okay, good. So that's the review of your rights as a recipient of mental health services here. Do you have any questions at all?
No,
No questions? Okay. If you ever do, just let me know, okay?
okay,
Next is the non-discrimination and accessibility statement. This basically says that I'm not going to discriminate against you in any way.
Okay.
relative to race, creed, religion, gender, age, national origin, political belief, sexual preference, handicap, or any nature of complaint that you might have. I'm not going to discriminate against you for that either. All of our treatment programs here are consistent with basic human rights. Essentially, only volunteer consumers are treated in KBH, so that would be you. Basically, you're volunteering, consenting to treatment, and knowing what you're getting yourself into. It's not so horrible. In cases where I might be involved in a petition for involuntary commitment, such procedures will be conducted in a least restrictive manner, consistent with the protection of patient rights and dignity and the legitimate protection and needs that you have. Are you all right? You need a break or anything?
I'm fine.
Okay, all right. Consistent with all of these rights, to be assured freedom from abuse and neglect, Kennebec Behavioral Health provides free aid and services to people with disabilities to be able to communicate effectively, such as sign language interpreters, large print, maybe an electronic format, free language services to those people who may speak something other than English. Do you?
Unfortunately, I don't.
No? Okay. All right, good. So, any other need, just let us know. And if you ever believe that we failed to provide these services or discriminated in conflict with the policies that I described here above, you can file a grievance that we also talked about, and that information again is here in your packet.
That I'll get a copy of.
Yes, you will get a copy. You're funny. Keep me on my toes here. There's also some information in your packet about infection control. This is information for your health and safety. What are some infectious diseases to be aware of? What causes them? The keys to infection control. The 10 most common causes of infection, and cleaning up. And I think that concludes that packet. There's also a list of some different services: clinic-based services, adult rehab, child and family services, outreach, and I don't know if you know about this, the 211. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that.
Yeah. Okay. So information is in here about that as well. Give me just a sec here. I want to take a look at something over here. Okay. So let's go back to the first page of our packet. It's basically a receipt of this manual. I'm going to ask you to print your name here and sign that you've received a copy of this orientation guideline, agreement to use and pay for services, rights of recipients, infection control policy, and a description of our programs and services. Additionally, there's a client statement of understanding for payment of services, which we went over.
Mm-hmm.
That was that you agree to pay for services that you or your child receive, giving us permission to talk to your health insurance company, how you'll pay for services if you don't have insurance. Also, that fees may change over time, but if they change, we'll let you know in advance, okay?
Okay.
So that we'll ask you for your signature here, if you agree, and then we'll witness. So when you sign your name here and specifically below here, you agree that you freely give consent for staff members at KVH to provide treatment to you.
Okay.
That sound good?
Mhm.
Okay. And that you know that the practice of mental health and substance abuse is not an exact science.
Right.
And that we do not guarantee results of treatment.
Okay.
Any questions about that?
No.
No questions? Okay. So how are you feeling about signing this, giving us your consent?
I feel good.
You feel good about it?
I
Okay.
do.
I'm gonna get your signature then.
Okay.
Let me get a pen for you. Sorry, I should've got a clipboard for you.
That's okay.
Terry, I look forward to working with you.
I am looking forward to working with you also.
Cool, good. Do you think we can get you back in this month to get started?
I like to be able to do that, yes.
Yeah. Okay. How does how is Thursday for you?
Do you know about what time?
What time would you like?
Mornings are good.
Morning's good. I do have 10 o'clock on the 30th.
I think that would work
That's a
out good.
Thursday. Okay. Awesome.
And about how long are the sessions? Like an hour?
Yeah, about an hour, give or take. If you need more than that, we can talk about that as well.
Okay. Alright, I think I signed
Okay,
where I was supposed to.
looks good. Got you there. You're gonna use insurance, okay?
I am,
You agreed to those 6 statements,
yes.
and okay, that looks great. I will go make a copy of that for you. And well, actually, our copier's down, so I'll just is it okay if I give you a copy of it when you come back on the 30th?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
That's
All right,
fine.
great, good. Thanks for being flexible.
Sure.
All right, thank you, Terry.
Thanks for meeting with me, and I'll
Yeah.
see you on the 30th.
Look forward to it.
Alright, thank you.
You too.